The night split open with Anna's cry, shaking the frail walls of her family's worn-down house. Laura slammed the door as if sealing a fate she never asked for. Anna whispered, "Why, Mother? Why sell me to a man I don't even know?" Her words echoed like glass breaking in her chest. John leaned against the crooked table, silence heavy, his face hiding a storm. He muttered, "It is survival, Anna, nothing more." Anna's tears burned her cheeks, blurring the room where hunger and despair clung like shadows. She shouted, "I am not a bargain, Father. I am your daughter." Laura turned, voice sharp as a knife. "This house is crumbling, debts choke us, and Marcus is the only one who can save us." The name struck like thunder. The most feared tycoon in America, a man known for power and cruelty. Anna clutched her chest, trembling. "You sold my dignity for bread," she whispered. Outside, rain pounded the cracked roof, a chorus of sorrow. The storm outside was nothing compared to the one tearing her apart within. John's eyes dimmed, guilt carving him hollow, but his silence screamed louder than Laura's rage. Every heartbeat was a drum of betrayal. Every breath was a fight to keep from drowning. Morning arrived heavy and gray, the storm leaving behind silence thick as grief. Anna sat by the cracked window, eyes swollen, staring at puddles that mirrored her despair. Laura entered, voice cold. "You will not resist tonight, Anna." Anna whispered, "I am not a possession to hand over." John lowered his head, saying nothing. The silence between father and daughter was sharper than any blade. Anna pressed her palm to the glass, whispering, "I dreamed of freedom, of love, not chains dressed as gold." Laura sneered, "Freedom does not feed us." Anna's heart beat like a trapped bird. She thought of Marcus, a name carrying terror and mystery. She had never seen him, yet the shadow of his presence consumed her. Every tick of the clock dragged her closer to the night when her world would shatter. The village buzzed with whispers. Neighbors peered from behind broken fences, eyes heavy with pity and judgment. Anna walked down the dirt road, head bowed, every step dragging her dignity through mud. Children stared, mothers whispered, men looked away. Anna muttered, "They see me as already his." Her breath felt heavier than her steps. Clark, her cousin, caught her arm gently. "Anna, don't let them kill your spirit." She shook her head, eyes wet. "My spirit was sold before I was asked." Clark's jaw tightened. "Then fight, even if it's silent." His words planted a seed she was not ready to water. The village air carried the weight of her shame louder than the storm had. Anna returned home with heavy steps, the air inside colder than the rain. Laura polished old dishes as though preparing a feast. "He will arrive tonight," she said. Anna froze, breath caught. John stood in the corner, eyes hollow. Anna whispered, "Does my pain mean nothing?" Laura replied, "Pain is luxury when hunger is at the table." John muttered, "Enough, Laura." For the first time, his voice cracked like thunder. Anna clung to his words, but they felt too weak to lift her. Silence swallowed the room, broken only by the clatter of Laura's plates. Evening draped the house in anxious silence. Anna sat on the bed, her hands shaking as she braided and unbraided her hair. Clark slipped through the door, whispering, "Run with me, tonight before he comes." Anna's heart leapt, torn between fear and hope. "Where can I go, Clark?" she asked. His eyes burned with desperation. "Anywhere but here." Laura's voice cut through the doorway like steel. "No one leaves. Tonight Marcus comes for what he paid for." Anna's chest caved as her cousin's hand slipped from hers. Freedom was so close, yet chains tightened faster. The sound of carriage wheels outside ended all doubt. The carriage wheels outside the house creaked to a stop, dragging Anna's heartbeat into her throat. Laura's face hardened like stone as she whispered, "Stand tall." Anna's hands trembled against her faded dress. She turned to John, searching for a shield, but his eyes dropped. "Do not shame us tonight," Laura hissed. Anna's chest burned. "Shame is what you've done," she answered softly. The door creaked open, shadows stretching like knives across the floor. Clark stood in the corner, fists clenched, his lips pressed tight to keep from screaming. Marcus' name drifted unspoken between them, heavier than the storm. Anna bit her lip until it bled, praying for a miracle that would not come. The silence after the knock was more frightening than thunder. Laura moved toward the door with slow, deliberate steps. John's jaw trembled, but his feet refused to move. Anna whispered, "If I die tonight, remember it was not by my choice." The room's air thickened with dread, as though walls themselves were listening. The door swung open to reveal a messenger dressed in black, not Marcus himself. Relief and fear twisted in Anna at once. The man's voice carried authority. "Mr. Marcus awaits at the estate. The girl must be ready." Laura nodded without hesitation. "She will be," Anna gasped. "Not like cattle." John's shoulders sagged as if chains hung from them. Clark stepped forward, rage in his eyes. "She is not a thing to be delivered." The messenger's gaze cut him down with silence sharper than words. Anna's world tilted. She felt the ground vanish, replaced with cold inevitability. Laura pushed Clark back with a glare. "Do not ruin this," Anna whispered. "My ruin is already sealed." The messenger placed a slip of parchment on the table, Marcus' signature curling like a scar across the page. The sound of the door shutting was like a coffin sealing. Later, Anna sat alone in her small room, the walls pressing closer with every heartbeat. She clutched her old journal, the only place her dreams still breathed. She wrote furiously, "If love exists, let it find me even in chains." Her tears smeared the ink. Clark slipped in, whispering, "Anna, you can still run." She shook her head. "Wherever I go, he will find me." Clark's hands trembled. "Then let me fight for you." Anna touched his arm gently. "No, cousin, they will bury you before dawn." The weight of love unspoken lay heavy between them. Outside, the rain began again, tapping the window like a cruel reminder. She closed the journal and pressed it to her chest, whispering, "Do not let them break me." The village bells tolled as night bled into the sky. Anna stood at the threshold of the house, her dress plain but her eyes defiant. Laura adjusted her shawl with rigid pride. "Do not falter," she commanded. John touched Anna's shoulder softly, whispering, "Forgive me." His voice cracked. She pulled away. "I cannot forgive chains." Clark lingered in the shadows, fists clenched. The sound of carriage wheels echoed nearer, steady as fate. The air held its breath. Anna stepped outside, her heart racing like a hunted bird. Every villager's whisper felt louder than thunder. Laura raised her chin high, as though pride could hide guilt. Anna whispered to herself, "If I must walk through fire, let me burn with dignity." The carriage arrived, black as night, its iron wheels grinding against stone. Two men stepped out, both silent, their presence heavier than words. Anna's body stiffened as they opened the door for her. Laura held her head high, saying, "Go." John muttered, "Forgive me, child." Clark's eyes burned with fury, but his fists stayed by his side. Anna whispered, "This is not the end of me." She lifted her chin, stepping toward the carriage as though it were a grave. Every step was a battle between dignity and despair. The door creaked open, revealing velvet shadows inside. For a moment she looked back. The faces of her family, fractured by betrayal, carved themselves into her soul. Then she entered, and the door shut with finality. The carriage rattled into the iron gates of Marcus' estate, its towering mansion casting shadows that swallowed Anna whole. Her breath caught at the sight of wealth, drenched in menace. The guards opened the door, their silence louder than words. Anna stepped down, her spine stiff with dignity, though fear clawed at her. She whispered, "Chains dressed in gold are still chains." Inside the grand hall, chandeliers glittered like cruel stars. Marcus descended the staircase, every step slow, deliberate, dangerous. His eyes fixed on Anna, piercing, unblinking. He said, "So this is the girl bought with desperation." Anna's fists clenched, her voice barely steady. I am not something you own. A smirk tugged at his lips, sharp as a blade. Not yet, Marcus murmured, his words chilling her bones. The air grew heavier, the walls pressing closer, as though the mansion itself conspired with him. The grand dining room stretched endless, its table set with silver Anna could not touch. She sat rigid, every muscle screaming to run. Marcus leaned back in his chair, gaze fixed like a predator circling prey. Your family begged me, he said coolly. They chose survival over your pride. Anna's voice cracked but did not break. They chose hunger over my soul. Marcus's eyes darkened, his jaw tightening. You speak of freedom like it exists for people like us. Anna's heart stuttered. For a moment, she saw pain buried in him, hidden beneath his steel. She whispered, Pain doesn't give you the right to own me. He leaned forward, lips curved in a dangerous smile. Perhaps it gives me reason. The room's silence pulsed, alive with tension. Later, Marcus led Anna through endless hallways lined with portraits of ancestors who seemed to watch her every move. This house devours the weak, Marcus said. Anna glared, whispering, Then it will choke on me. His lips twitched, as if surprised. They stopped before a door carved with iron vines. Marcus's tone dropped low. This is where you will stay. Anna stepped inside, breath caught. The room was vast, velvet curtains drowning out the night, but it felt like a cage wrapped in silk. She turned sharply. You think comfort will blind me? Marcus's eyes softened for a flicker, quickly hardened again. Comfort is better than hunger. Anna's voice cracked. I'd rather starve free than feast imprisoned. Silence pressed heavier than walls. Night deepened. Anna stood at the window, watching rain streak against the glass, her reflection trembling. She whispered to herself, I will not break. Behind her, Marcus's voice cut softly. Strength does not hide fear. She turned sharply. And cruelty does not hide yours. His eyes flickered with something unguarded, quickly buried. He stepped closer, the air thickening. You think you see me, he said. But you only see what I let you. Anna's voice rose, sharp and trembling. Then show me the man beneath the mask. For a fleeting heartbeat, silence broke into something raw, unspoken. Then Marcus turned away, his back rigid, leaving the words to hang heavy. Anna lay awake on the velvet bed, eyes open, heart racing. The storm outside rattled the windows like chains. She whispered, God, keep me whole. Suddenly the door creaked, and Marcus stood at the threshold, his face shadowed. His voice was low, nearly broken. I never wanted this life. Anna's breath caught. For the first time his mask cracked. She whispered, Then why chain me to it? His fists clenched. Because power is the only thing I know. Silence stretched, fragile, dangerous. Anna's tears slid, but her voice burned. Then you are poorer than any beggar. Marcus's jaw tightened, yet his eyes betrayed a storm. He closed the door slowly, leaving her in darkness. Anna walked the marble halls alone, each echo of her footsteps louder than her breath. She paused before a door slightly ajar, Marcus' voice drifting through. The debt is cleared, John, but your daughter belongs here now. Anna froze, the words striking like knives. She pushed the door open to see John standing before Marcus, his head bowed. John muttered, I gave her up because I could not give her more. Anna gasped. Father? Marcus's eyes darkened as he turned, his face unreadable. John's shoulders sagged with shame. Forgive me, Anna. She staggered back, tears blinding her. You were not forced, she whispered. You chose this. The truth split her open, her father's betrayal deeper than hunger or chains. Anna stormed into the chamber, her voice trembling with rage. You sold me willingly, father. John stepped toward her, his hands shaking. I could not feed you, Anna. Marcus gave us a future. Anna's cry pierced the silence. You gave me to a stranger's mercy. Marcus leaned against the table, eyes sharp. He chose survival, girl, Blame me if you must. But his hands signed the bargain. Anna's breath shook. Both of you chained me. John's tears fell, but they felt like dust to her heart. Clark's voice rang suddenly from the doorway. He betrayed you, Anna. Not hunger, not fate. Him. Marcus's smirk deepened, feeding on the family's fracture. Anna fled to the courtyard, the night air cutting her skin like knives. Clark followed, his steps urgent. Anna, you cannot trust him. Not Marcus, not John. She pressed her hand to her chest, sobbing. My father gave me away, as though I was nothing. Clark gripped her shoulders. You are not nothing, you are fire, and they fear it. She shook her head, eyes wet with despair. Even Marcus. Why does he act like my chains are his burden? Clark's voice hardened. Because he is broken, and broken men break others. Anna's tears fell harder, yet her chin lifted. Then I will not let him break me. The vow slipped out like steel. Later, Marcus found Anna in the library, the firelight painting her face in gold and shadow. He said quietly, Your father chose me because he feared losing everything. Anna's eyes blazed. He feared hunger, not me. Marcus stepped closer. Do you think I wanted this? To be your captor? Anna's voice cut like glass. You wanted power, Marcus. My pain feeds it. His face twisted, torn between anger and truth. Power was all I was ever taught to crave. She whispered, Then you are still a slave, though your chains are gold. For once, Marcus said nothing. Silence fell, sharp and heavy. The storm outside roared, thunder shaking the walls. Anna confronted John in the great hall, her voice echoing, I will never forgive you. John's face collapsed with grief. I thought I saved you, Anna. She stepped closer, every word sharp. You buried me. Marcus watched from the shadows, silent, his eyes unreadable. Clark shouted, She deserves freedom, not chains. Laura's voice broke suddenly, sharp and cold. She had arrived unannounced, her face hard as stone. Freedom is an illusion, she hissed. Anna gasped, realizing Laura had known all along. The betrayal closed in from every side, each truth twisting the knife deeper. The great hall shook with thunder outside, but the storm inside was louder. Anna stood at the center, eyes blazing like fire. You all broke me, she shouted, her voice cracking with fury. John fell to his knees, whispering, I only wanted to save you. Anna snapped, You buried me in Marcus' chains. Laura raised her chin, cold and sharp. You should thank us, Anna. You will never know hunger. Clark roared from the side, She deserves more than survival bought with her soul. Marcus's silence weighed heavier than all their words. Finally, he stepped forward, his voice deep and dark. She belongs here now, whether she loves it or hates it. Anna's breath caught, her heart hammering, her rage a sword in her chest. Anna's voice shattered the silence. You chained me to a man feared across America, but I will not bend. Marcus's eyes narrowed, his jaw clenched. You think defiance will save you? Anna stepped closer, chest heaving. It already has. My spirit is mine. Laura scoffed. Your spirit won't fill your belly. Anna's glare cut through her. Neither will your pride. John reached out, desperate. Please, Anna, forgive me. Anna turned away, tears spilling, rage still burning. Marcus's voice dropped low, dangerously soft. You awakened something I buried long ago. The words hung heavy, half confession, half threat. The storm raged harder, rattling windows as Marcus and Anna stood face to face. Marcus growled, You think I wanted this life, to be feared, to be hated? Anna's voice trembled but held strong. Then why hide behind cruelty? Why make me your prisoner? His breath came ragged, his mask cracking. Because power is the only thing I was ever taught. Anna stepped closer, her tears shining. Then you are weaker than me, Marcus, because I still know how to love. His eyes burned, torn between fury and longing. He whispered, And that is why you terrify me. Laura broke the moment, her voice sharp as glass. Enough of this weakness. Marcus, remind her what she was bought for. Clark lunged forward shouting, she was never for sale. He grabbed Marcus's arm, fury blazing. Marcus's eyes narrowed, and with one shove, Clark stumbled back against the wall. Anna screamed, "Stop it!" John rushed forward, but his knees buckled under guilt, his hands useless. The room vibrated with fury and fear. Anna's chest heaved as she shouted, "I am not your bargain, I am not your property. I am Anna, and you will not erase me." Her voice cracked like thunder itself, silencing all. Silence fell like a blade after Anna's cry. Marcus's chest rose and fell, his eyes locked on hers with fire and torment. Slowly he whispered, "No one has ever defied me like this." Anna's voice shook but remained fierce. "Then, remember me." John wept, his tears hitting the stone floor. Laura's face hardened, refusing to break. Clark stood again, blood at his lip, but his eyes unbroken. Marcus stepped closer, his hand trembling as though reaching, then dropping. "You are the storm I cannot control," he said. Anna's heart pounded, her body trembling, but her voice answered steady. "Then drown in me." The hall fell silent after the eruption, only the storm outside daring to speak. Anna's chest rose and fell, her body trembling with the weight of her defiance. John whispered through tears, "Daughter, I was blind." Anna turned, her face streaked with grief. "You chose survival over my soul." Laura's eyes were sharp, but her voice cracked. "I did what I had to do." Clark stepped forward, his voice steady. "No, you did what fed your pride." Marcus watched from the shadows, torn, his hand twitching at his side. Anna whispered, "None of you saved me. I saved myself when I spoke." Her words were both victory and wound, leaving the family hollow. Later, Anna sat in the velvet room, her body still trembling. Marcus entered slowly, his footsteps heavy. He spoke quietly, "You cut deeper than any enemy ever has." Anna's voice was soft, but her words steady. "Then you know I am no possession." Marcus stood near the fire, his face half lit. "You see me as a monster." Anna whispered, "I see you as a man chained by his own power." His eyes lowered for the first time. "Maybe I am." The silence between them throbbed, fragile and raw. Anna turned to the window, the storm easing, rain soft against the glass. "I will not bow, Marcus," she said. He nodded slowly, almost broken. "And that is why I cannot let you go." John found Anna alone later, his steps dragging. He fell to his knees before her. "I betrayed you, Anna. I see it now." She turned her face away, her tears silent. "You did not just betray me," she whispered. "You betrayed the father I thought I had." His hands shook as he reached for her dress hem. "Let me make this right." Anna pulled away, voice steady but cold. "You cannot undo chains once fastened." John wept harder, his cries echoing through the hall. Clark entered, pulling Anna close. He chose his path. You must choose yours. Anna leaned into her cousin's shoulder, her body heavy with sorrow. Laura confronted Marcus in the library, her voice sharp. "She is breaking you." Marcus's eyes flashed. "No, she is forcing me to see myself." Laura sneered, "You were feared, respected. Now you tremble at a girl's defiance." Marcus's jaw clenched, anger and truth colliding. "Her defiance is stronger than your pride." Laura's lips twisted into a bitter smile. "Then you are weaker than I thought." Marcus stepped closer, his tone low and dangerous. "Or stronger, because I finally feel." The words burned the silence. Laura turned away, her eyes cold as stone, knowing she was losing her grip. The storm cleared by dawn, leaving a bruised silence. Anna stood on the balcony, the first pale light touching her skin. Clark stood beside her, his voice quiet. "Will you run, Anna?" She shook her head slowly. "Running does not erase chains, it only drags them further." Clark sighed, eyes heavy with sorrow. Then what will you do? Anna's lips trembled, but her words carried strength. I will endure, and I will make Marcus see that power is nothing without love. Behind them, Marcus stood unseen, listening, his chest heavy with conflict. The sun broke the clouds, casting light on wounds not yet healed. The dawn was pale, the estate silent after the storm. Anna walked through the empty hall, her steps soft but steady. John appeared from the shadows, his face worn with guilt. Anna, he whispered, please forgive me. She turned, her eyes glassy. Forgiveness does not resurrect trust. His body sagged as though the words themselves struck him down. Laura entered behind him, her voice cutting. Do not waste pity on her, she will bend in time. Anna's gaze pierced her mother. No, Mother Laura, I will break before I bow. The silence echoed heavier than thunder, leaving even Laura speechless. In the courtyard, Clark stood waiting, his eyes heavy but protective. Come with me, Anna, we can still leave. She shook her head slowly. Leaving does not end chains, Cousin Clark. It only carries them farther. Clark's voice cracked. Then what is left? Anna lifted her chin, the faint light glinting on her tears. Strength is left. Defiance is left. My voice is left. His eyes filled with sorrow, but also pride. He whispered, Then I will stand with you, even if the world turns against us. Anna's lips trembled but curved into the faintest smile. Marcus found Anna at the balcony, the sun rising behind her like a crown. He stopped, his breath shallow. You are not what I expected, he said softly. Anna turned, her voice steady. And you are exactly what I feared. His face twisted with conflict. I have power, yet in front of you I feel powerless. She stepped closer, her eyes unwavering. That is because power is not love, Marcus. His fists clenched, jaw trembling. Then teach me, he whispered, the words fragile. Anna's tears fell, her voice cutting. I am not your teacher. I am your storm. John. And Laura stood at the edge of the hall as Anna and Marcus faced one another. John whispered, She is stronger than us. Laura's lips tightened, her pride crumbling. She was always stronger, we just refused to see it. Marcus reached for Anna's hand but stopped short, his fingers trembling. Anna's eyes met his, unflinching. Do not touch me unless you can touch me with truth. His hand fell away, his body stiff. The silence pressed like a final judgment. Laura turned, her shoulders sagging with defeat. John covered his face, broken. Anna stood unwavering, her breath steady. The estate was quiet, the storm gone, but its echoes lingered. Anna walked to the center of the courtyard, lifting her face to the morning sky. Her voice was a whisper, but carried like thunder. They tried to bury me, but I am still standing. Marcus stood in the doorway, his eyes haunted, his body frozen between desire and surrender. John and Laura lingered in the distance, shadows of their choices etched in their faces. Clark stood closest, his voice low. Anna, you are free, even here. She closed her eyes, her tears falling, her heart unbroken. Her final words floated in the morning air. Chains cannot silence the storm.